One of the weird quirks of YouTube is that if you're on here presenting, as I am, and you're also a photographer, people assume you know how to do everything. Now, I am a pro photographer. I shoot big campaigns. I have a different company doing that. And there's a whole heap of things I don't know how to do. Like, it would worry most of you. I always assume that most people who watch this video have more know-how than I do. And I want to go through a list of everything I can't do and why it doesn't matter. And I think a great starting point for this is this video camera here is my Blackmagic 6K. And on the back of it, you get the picture of what you've got, and then there should be all the little bits of information, your aperture, your ISO, your shutter angle, and the memory card bit that you have to click on to format it. It's a weird system for formatting this camera. The reason I'm filming this today on Bank Holiday Monday and not 2 days ago is because all of those numbers disappeared and I didn't know how to make them come back again. So I had to wait for my tech guy to come in and tell me that you just swipe down on the screen and it all reappears. That's the level of technical competence you guys are dealing with here. I haven't got a clue. So let's go through this and let me also explain why it doesn't matter. Now, I was sat down, I was meeting with, might have to remove that, and we're talking about my work. And I said, this is what I do. And they're going, I love that, love this. Did you do the post-production yourself? And I was like, I don't know how to use Photoshop. And he just said, it doesn't matter, you don't need to, do you? And I do not know how to use Photoshop. Now, I know how to use the Jesus tool where you press J and you can just scribble on stuff and it disappears. But if it doesn't work, I've got no idea how to fix that. Sometimes I can remember how to add another layer and brush through a previous one. But again, if there's any finessing or I don't know how to use the pen tool, no idea. I don't know how to do any of that. Haven't got a clue. No intention of learning, never learned how to use Photoshop. I don't need to. And here's why. Professional retouchers. There is an entire profession of retouchers. There's people out there who will do it for you. Now, as a byproduct, and this, I'd love to say this is the reason why I didn't learn to do Photoshop, I'm actually really good at getting stuff right in camera because I don't always know if it can be fixed or not, so I can get stuff pretty bang on in camera, whereas a lot of people fix it in post. I don't think it matters how you get to the final image. The final image is all that matters, but I have a clue how to do most of that stuff. Video editing, I know how to cut, grade, export. But every now and again, like one of my workspace windows disappears and I have to get someone in to come and fix it for me. And I don't know how to do that stuff. Doesn't matter. I'm a photographer, not a retoucher. Okay, next up on the list of things I don't know how to do. I don't know how to, so for context here, the Canon 5DSR has some weird shutter delay thing to stop vibrations and camera shake. Everyone asks me what setting I use on this all the time. I don't know how to find the setting. I don't know what setting I use. I don't know where it is in the menu. All I know is I have 100 ISO, f16, 125th of a second, it shoots full-size RAW. Don't even put memory cards in it. I'm not sure I'd be able to format a memory card in it. Because I don't need that stuff. It doesn't matter. There's a whole custom functions menu, which is just, it's just alien language to me. Not a clue. Not a clue. Don't know how to do it. No interest in learning, because if I need that, I will get an assistant to do it and they'll go and find out how to do it and do it. That's all that matters. And with that comes kit. I rarely know what kit I need for a shoot. So the way it works in the commercial world is we rent all the kit. Although I've got all this stuff here, I'm in a place called Leicester. It's not London. We go to London for shoots. We rent the kit. My first assistant, I'll be like, here's the job we're doing. Here's what it needs to look like. Here's how I want to light it. Now, I'm very good at lighting. This is one of the skills that I'm good at lighting. Like, if anything needs lighting, I can do that, blindfolded, however it needs to be. I don't know why. I didn't work at it. I know lighting. I don't know lighting kit, though. And I'd be like, I need to do this. I need the following things. So there was one where we're doing like a splash, but I needed f16 on a bellows camera, which meant I needed 2000 watts of light, which meant we needed to be able to, anyway, what we ended up having to do is something called ping-ponging. This doesn't sound, I'm sure he's winding me up here. Is it called ping-pong? Let me know in the comments below. Multiple packs together so we could daisy chain them and fire them one at a time to get the right flash out. Nightmare job, technically. I don't have a clue how to do it. Doesn't matter. That's what the assistant and the rental house is for. When I need a shot done with a certain look, I'll phone the rental house up and I'll be like, what camera do I need? and they'll tell me. You don't need to know this stuff. If I knew this stuff, I wouldn't know how to light. If I knew all of this stuff, I wouldn't know what looks good, because my brain, bless it, it has a finite capacity. Every time the kids teach me something new about Godzilla, I forget one of the pins to my bank card. You have a limit to what you can know. Know what matters. Camera specs don't matter. Tech doesn't matter. What matters is knowing where to place the light. And this is something which is interesting. So the guys who know what light I need, I tell them what I need doing. They'll set it up roughly, and and I can walk into the room and go, that light's not in the right place. You need to go 2 inches higher, 3 degrees angled lower down, and 2 meters further back. Don't know why I know that, but I know that I can look at it straight away and go, do this. And I'll take the first shot, and it'll be perfect. Just is. Don't know why. It's just what I spend my time worrying about. If I started worrying about, like, with my 5DSi, I know it's a 50 megapixel camera. I don't know what the max ISO is. I don't know how many autofocus points it has. I think it's got dual card slots, but I'm not sure what type of memory cards it takes. It does the shutter delay thing. I only know that because people keep asking me. I don't know. It's probably on factory default, or maybe at some point an assistant set it to something, and that'll be what it's set to today. I don't know. There's so many things I don't know how to do. Upgrading my computers, I just ask somebody what computer I need to buy. I don't research it because it's wasted time. Upgrading the software on my computers, my guy Rob comes in and he does that for me. Upgrading the cameras stuff, he updated this one here because apparently it's loads better with the latest update. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what's changed. But it has, and there we go. So there's this whole host of things that pro photographers don't know how to do. And one is just me opening up and saying, like, I'm pretty useless at most of life. But more importantly, if you don't know certain things and it's just like alien to you, the concept of it, like layers, they just hurt my brain. Don't worry about it. I've done fine out of my career and I know nothing. Focus on what matters. Creativity. That's it. What looks good. Where to put things in the viewfinder. That is the essence of photography. The other stuff, there are people who specialize in it. There are camera technicians, there are digital technicians, there are lighting assistants, there are rental houses. All of these people fill in all the gaps for me. It doesn't make me less of a photographer. The amount of times on set we're using some weird like Hasselblad or Phase, I have to hand it to the assistant and go, can you change the setting for me? Or it stopped working, and they sort it out for me because that's what they do. That's their skill set, that's their job. The Digitech does a backup system. I don't understand what it does, but I know it's safe because I've got my system. We know how that works, but they do something on set which is weird. They do all this great stuff. I don't know how to do it. I'm not endorsed. I'm like a ambassador for Calibrite, the color checker things. Every time I have to do it by myself because my Digi's not here, I have to watch the YouTube video of how to do it again. It's like which ICC linear, auto, I don't know, all this stuff, and I still get it wrong. But whenever I've got my Digi here, they get it right. They do it perfectly for me and I get that great color calibration. Anyway, I hope this has been reassuring to you. And if anything, you can just like leave me some hate in the comments below as to why I'm not a real photographer. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.